Hello Barça Hoy channel friends, welcome to a new potential starting 11. The eSports League is finally starting, a league in which Barça is the current champion since they won last season. Honestly, I feel great about this season. I think Barça can win this league again, and honestly, my bet is that Football Club Barcelona will be crowned champion once more. Barça invites you to follow the league, Champions League, Cup, and all competitions with us. This channel keeps you informed. We're also nearing 441,000 subscribers. We're almost close to 500,000 followers on this channel, and I'm sure that with your help, we're going to make it. Smash that like button, because I'm revealing the first possible starting 11 of the league. Mallorca Barça eSports. What is Canciflix's starting lineup? Let's take a look. But first, as always, it's time to find out who our opponent will be, Yagoba Arrasati's team. We still don't have anything to look at, since it's the first match day. We don't have another game where we can see how they've done. But it's true that, well, a few new signings have joined the Mallorca club. Let me tell you something, Arnbo. Pablito Torre, our former player, will be one of the team's standout players, along with Muriqui, the forward, who I think is the most dangerous. Currently, Mallorca is expected to use this lineup and might include Leo Roman, Moica, Marc Valien, Raillo, Mori, Mascarell, Darder, Morlanes, Asano, Pablo Torre. Up front, as I said, Muriqui is excellent. This team has 3 or 4 very dangerous players. But of course, I have to say that Football Club Barcelona shouldn't, at least in theory, have any problems getting the first 3 points of the championship. I'll repeat, it's a match where Barça is the favorite. Also, after the amazing preseason we've had, I think Barça is coming in optimal condition so that this first match turns into a victory and the first 3 points on the board. Let's focus on what really interests us, Football Club Barcelona's elimination. By the way, take this moment if you haven't done it yet. I hope you have to subscribe and smash the like button. It's very important so that this video gets highly promoted. As I said, let's start with Football Club Barcelona's starting 11, which of course will have Joan García as their goalkeeper. Why do I mention Joan García? Many will ask, what's the issue with Joan García and the registration? Well, at this time of the afternoon, we can already say that Joan García will be registered with 100% probability. The former Espanyol player will debut as goalkeeper for Barça this season. It's very clear that Joan García is going to be under the post as the left back. Well, I think here, there's not much more to say. Alejandro Valde, who is at a good pace, at a good level, getting better all the time, growing more every day. I think he's like a jet. I think he's a very physical, very powerful player. He could, well, you know, in a few years, look at what I'm saying, huh? One of the best left backs in the world. Will time prove me right or wrong? As of today, I believe Alejandro Valde is capable. So that in the future, as I said, we can see him as one of the best right back. There are some doubts, as they mentioned, it could be Royal Skunde or Eric Garcia. Honestly, if everything is fine, if everything goes as it should, then it should be Jules Koundé. I think you all agree. If Koundé has any physical issue, which I don't believe, then we could see Eric Garcia, as we've seen before. But I think that under normal circumstances, Jules Koundé is still above the Catalan fullback. Even so, as I said, Eric Garcia is growing in an incredible way. Truly incredible. The centre-back pairing will include Pau Cubarsí on one side, of course. I think there's no doubt about that. And no doubts here with Cubarsí either. He should be a reliable centre-back with his leadership reputation at Barça, especially now that Íñigo Martínez is also gone. The centre-back pairing is clear to me. Pau Cubarsí with Ronald Araujo. This defense is the same, well, I was going to say almost the same, but actually it's exactly the same as last year, except, as you know, for that sale, which for me was really painful about Íñigo Martínez, but in the end, well, these are things that happen in football. He was already 34 years old, he saw the opportunity to go to Arabia, and that's it. We've been left without Íñigo Martínez. But as I said, Barça still has great defensive quality. Let's move on to the midfield, because here there could be a few variations. In fact, there could be quite a lot of variations, because that's true. Here, I still see Pedri as totally, well, irreplaceable. I don't think Pedri has a replacement right now. Not only at Barça, but worldwide, few players have more quality than Pedri. For me, Frenkie de Jong is absolutely non-negotiable. Because in the end, when both of them are doing well, Barça feels it. Barça realizes it. Flick realizes it himself. And he knows that having these two players at their best level, Barça has many chances to win their matches. That's something everyone knows and is aware of. That's where I have doubts. I don't know if Dani Olmo, Gabi or Fermin will be there. In my view, as of today, Fermin Lopez deserves the attacking midfielder spot behind the striker. For everything, for his commitment, for his effort, for the goals, also because he's giving goals to Barça, providing assists. I think Fermin completely deserves to be in this lineup, the first lineup of the Flick era this season. 2025, 2026. And well, that being said, of course, Marc Casado, Marc Bernal, players who can also be in this. By the way, Marc Bernal hasn't had a single minute in the preseason. It's almost impossible, I would say, 0% chance that he'll be in the starting 11. Well, I don't know if Flick will want to give him a few minutes, at least 5 minutes, so he can slowly start getting into the first team's dynamic. But after seeing that they haven't used him in the preseason, I would say Mar Bernal. As of today, of course, he still needs a lot more experience before he can slowly start, as I said, getting into the starting 11. It's not going to be right away, but he's a player we count on, a player we have a lot of hopes in. Well, we have confidence in this player who is so young, but who is also being talked about, like I said, Casado, Gabi Bernal, Dani Olmo himself. Well, he had some discomfort. But in principle, from my point of view, he won't be a starter in this match. We move on to the forwards. As of now, he won't be in the lineup. Rashford, for now, this could change. But as of today, his registration won't happen. So, the left wing goes to Rafinha. That's for sure. I think nobody has any doubts about that. Left wing for Rafinha, right wing for the number 10. The player who must always be included. Lamine Yamal has no issues. He's completely fine physically and mentally. So I consider him fully ready to return. Of course, in that starting 11 with Rafinha and in attack up front.
If Rashford isn't available, Ferran Torres will be chosen. As I said, it's the same.
Until Saturday, Rashford may be registered in the league. If so, I'd say he's ahead of Ferran. But in case that registration doesn't come in time, he would be ready for the next match, for match day number 2, both Rashford and Bargi, and so on. My forward line would be Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Ferran Torres, similar to last year. Also keeping an eye, of course, on the injury, which will keep him out for about 2 to 3 weeks. Robert Lewandowski, that's why he's not in my starting 11. This is my lineup for Mallorca on match day 1. We dress up as HANSI Flick, and this is our choice. Comment below and hit like, subscribe for all killer content. Barça yesterday, today always.